Hello, everyone. I'm happy to be back with another young person, part of the Voice of the Young series. Right now, we have with us Anirudh VG. Let's listen to him. Over to you, Anirudh.
Thank you, sir, for having me. It's an absolute honor to be here and talk about myself. I'm currently a second year law student, currently pursuing my undergraduation at Dr. Vishwanath Karad, MIT World Peace University, and uh, and I'm also the current convener of the debate society in my college as well. And to talk more about myself, I have an interest in criminal law as well as in international law as well. Criminal law means like litigation and other aspects of it as well. And also talk about myself. Uh, I used to play this percussion instrument called mridangam, which is like a South Indian musical instrument as well. Then I used to play cricket as well. And so overall, this is for my holistic development as well. So that is pretty much about myself.
It's too short. Tell us more. Where did you grow up? Where are you studying? Why did you choose what you chose? And so on. So talk more.
Sir, I was born in Mumbai. I'm currently studying in Pune now.
Yeah.
The reason why I chose law is because I come from a family where, from my mother's side, everybody is doing engineering, medical, and from my father's side, everyone is pursuing business. Law is very interesting field actually, and there are many unexplored areas as well. Like I'm planning to pursue aviation law, space law, maritime law. Now, if you look at them, they have very huge scope for it. They are very interesting as well. So that is one thing, and why I chose law is because it is very interesting. It gives you some kind of personal satisfaction as well, and like but by the end of the day, it's gonna be very challenging as well. It will be a lot of fun as well. That is what law is.
How do you know this?
Hmm?
How do you know this? There's no one in your family who is a lawyer.
Well,
So
like I believe that you spoke to Nandini Ravishankar. She is actually my senior.
okay.
And she actually guided me through like how to study in law school, what to do, what not to do.
And your parents were okay with you taking this unusual
Well,
step?
yes, sir. Initially, they were hesitant a bit because even as well, like sometimes law can be a bit dangerous. Your life can be at stake. But then somehow I convinced them that this is my industry. Let me do this. Let me do whatever it takes to become the great lawyer. Just like how Nani Palkhiwala was. I'm not saying
Oh,
that I
okay.
will be Nani Palkhiwala, but like him, like
Yeah. Why
so
not?
then,
Aim
huh?
high. Why not? Aim high.
Yes.
Yeah, aim high.
So then, like, they were a bit hesitant, but after a few hours of convincing them, they were okay with my decision.
Okay. And how did you manage to get into this place? Was it your first choice? Tell us about it.
Sir, actually, for law entrance exam, there's this thing called CLAT. So I tried to crack it, but you know how competitive law is. Like, there are many admissions. CLAT is an exam. For that, very few seats are given. So that is very competitive. I had to literally wait for that magic bell to strike. And then I came here in Pune. So like this was my only option, but I'm still really grateful that I'm here. Like, step outside your comfort zone as well. Learn things. So yes.
Okay. So how's your mridangam going? Are you playing it or?
Sir, I used to play, but then I had to like stop it as well because it was clashing frequently with my career.
Okay.
But still, like if I get the time, I'll play it again.
Do you have it with you in your college?
I would now I'm in Pune. It's in my house in Mumbai.
Yeah.
So I mean, unfortunately, I don't have it with me.
Okay. So what is your hobby here?
Hobby in law school.
Yeah, I mean in Pune. I don't mean in law school, in Pune.
Sir, Pune, like it's a wonderful city, and obviously this is also called the Oxford of the East as well, because many students from different parts of the country they come here, they study as well, and
Mm.
like the nightlife here is also good as well. But
Mhm.
I don't get involved too much into that.
Yeah.
So I just explore places.
Mm.
I like to travel a lot. So I
Yeah.
like exploring places, see their culture, and
Yeah.
the culture here is very vibrant and dynamic as well.
Mhm.
Hmm.
How about your fellow students?
Yeah, so like people from this city, they are the most friendliest ones and they
Mhm.
make you feel more comfortable.
Mhm.
And like I'm very fortunate enough to have some friends as well.
Mhm. And they are all from Pune or they are out from
Well,
other
some of
parts?
them are from Pune, some of them are from Maharashtra, a few of them are from different parts of India as well.
Okay. So there is a mix.
Yes, it's a
And how,
mix, and also from a few different countries as well.
okay. And how's the teaching? Is it difficult or classes? How are the
So,
class?
law school, it is a bit difficult, but the journey must keep going. I have some very good seniors as well who are there to guide me, support me as well. And then also I have some very wonderful professors as well who teach me
Mm.
that they don't, I mean, the faculty here is very approachable.
Mm.
They're always there for you.
Mm.
So I mean, teaching wise, it is very good.
Mm. Okay. And
Mm.
what is your own? You mentioned so many specializations, but if you had to pick one, what would you pick?
Sir, I mean, it's kind of a dilemma you're putting me here.
Okay.
But I would say that I would go with international law as well. I would go with international law.
How does it apply in India?
So, like I said, aviation law, maritime law, space law. What many people think in aviation law is that merger and acquisitions, then like you purchase an aircraft. It's more than that. Aviation law is it governs the operation of airports and aircrafts, and not only merger, it covers many issues like safety regulations, environmental laws as well,
Mhm.
like then airspace as well. If one plane crosses into the territory of another country, then the airspace issue comes. Then you have aircraft accidents as well, where there is like huge scope for it. So that is about aviation law. Maritime law is like
Mm.
it's also very huge. There is huge scope for it as
Mm.
well.
Mm.
And maritime law mostly deals with like chartered liability, shipping, port regulations, customs,
Mm.
international trade law,
Mm.
and then oil spills as well.
Mm.
Then piracy as well.
Mm.
Like in Somalia, how it happens, the pirates they attack your ships and all.
Mm. Mm.
And lastly is space law, which is, as we can rightly call, the final frontier.
Mm.
Now, in that as well, like various areas like space exploration,
Mm.
now this there is an increase for the militarization of space, the race for space as well, just like how it is happening in Antarctica as well.
Mm.
Like many countries, they're claiming that Antarctica is their own, but
Mm.
similarly, it's happening in space as well.
Mm.
And many rescue efforts, new weapons, access to new minerals, and
Mm.
then obviously the search for a new home.
Mm.
So that can be included in space
Mm.
law as well.
Mm. Mm.
I mean, it will take some time to grow, but by the time I graduate, it will be a good practicing area
Mm.
and a fun area as well.
Mm. Okay. All right. Um, just to out of curiosity, are any of these hijackings and all that covered in aviation law, or what law applies there?
Sir, aviation law will apply also here as well. And then obviously, like, yes, aviation law will also occur.
Okay. And you mentioned Nani Palkhiwala's name. Have
Mhm.
you read any cases in which he was involved?
I have read, I mean, Nandini Didi, she obviously referred to me a biography on Nani Palkhiwala called
Yeah.
Nani Palkhiwala, the Courtroom Genius.
Yes.
So this book, I mean, earlier I never used to read books a lot. I used
Yeah.
to read them and then one look and Arey, what is this saying? What is it? So that hate started. But as I read, the more you read, the more interesting it is.
Mm.
And in Nani Palkiwala's book, it talks about like how he wanted to do civil services,
Yeah.
but then he felt like, he should do law as well.
Mm.
And then and the rest is history, sir. He worked under a very famous lawyer, Mr. Jamshedji Kanga as well, a very famous tax lawyer as well. And then in tax, there are certain elements which are related to constitution. So Nani Palkiwala, he made that jump to constitution law.
Mm.
And he has solved very landmark cases like Keshwananda Bharti, then the R.C. Cooper case, which is also the bank nationalization case, and then
Mm.
the I.C. Golaknath case as well.
Mm.
And there are many more. And on an international perspective, uh, there was Sindh territory, which is now in Pakistan. There were some disputes regarding it.
Mm.
He flew constantly for 3 years to
Mm.
Geneva, then Geneva, London. There he argued.
Mm.
Then he had to analyze through maps, historical records as well. And then somehow India managed to retrieve 90% of that
Mm.
territory of
Mm.
Sindh into
Mm.
India. Remaining
Mm.
10% is in
Mm.
Pakistan as well.
Mm.
So I
Okay.
mean, yeah. And
Okay.
sir, like for hijacking as well, in India it is governed by the Anti-Hijacking Act as well
Mm.
of 1982, as well as the 2016 Act as well.
Okay. All
Yes.
right. Since you mentioned two cases, Golaknath and Keshavnath Bharati, I don't want to press you on this, but can you do you know the difference between the two?
Sir, that would be a bit long actually, but for Keshwananda Bharati, I can say that that preamble is a part of the constitution,
Yes.
and the basic structure of doctrine of the constitution, this cannot be altered. I
Yes.
mean, changes can be made, but it should ensure that the basic structure should not be affected. And
Yeah.
talk about Keshwananda Bharti, it's one of the longest judgments in
Yes.
Indian judicial history,
Yes.
with over like 700 pages,
Yes.
longest constitutional bench as well, for at least what,
Yes.
13 judges as well.
Yes.
So it's a very historic case, and no matter how old you are, it will appear with you anywhere throughout your life.
Yeah. Okay. But my understanding is that actually Palkiwala lost the case because
Yes, sir.
he didn't win it, but he won something else, which is the
Hmm.
basic structure.
But that established him as a lawyer. And
Yeah.
even I read this article yesterday, like many of the judges, they really appreciated him. It was that Nani Palkiwala's oratory or
Yeah.
arguing, it saved the day,
Yeah.
even though he lost.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Wonderful. What else? What's going on in your life? I mean, what are how was your school? Tell us about your school. We didn't hear anything about it.
I have never looked back at all at my school, and even 12th for that matter. But I mean, yeah, it was wonderful. Some wonderful memories as well. I mean, 12th was a bit traumatic phase. That phase of life was kind of traumatic for me actually, because
Hmm.
I had some many personal issues as well. But then somehow I managed to never give up, be strong. Somehow I did well. I
Mm-hmm.
would say good, but not good enough.
Yeah. So how did COVID affect you?
COVID. So I mean, bridged there was this gap that was created. We couldn't meet our friends, and I couldn't see many of my 10th grade friends as well. I never thought that that would be the last time that I would be seeing them. So this kind of affected me a bit, but I coped out with it. I dealt with it.
Yeah, but you were very young, only in 10th grade.
I was young. I never realized it, but
Huh.
this kind of affected me somewhere.
Okay.
Hmm.
But you, for 12th and all, your board exams were held as normal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Right. 10th actually, COVID cases in India was very rising that much.
Yeah,
So ultimately, this got cancelled, 10th boards.
yeah. Okay. Anything else you want to add here?
What's going on in my mind?
Yeah, what's going on in your mind?
uh, I I just want to say that in today's world, no matter how successful you are, no matter where you are in your life, there are people who will always talk ill about you, who will disrespect you, demean you, treat you with partiality. They will do whatever it takes to bring you down. This is one thing that I have observed so far in my life. Life is very unfair,
Hmm,
sir, but you should always be strong no matter what.
hmm,
And obviously, like, you should know like what suits you, what does not suit you.
hmm,
You should know that well.
hmm.
Today's world, back then in your time, it must have been very different. Now it is completely changed.
Yeah, it has completely
It
changed.
has.
Yes.
And then many people, like in my class, like there are few people who take notes on a notebook while some of them take on an iPad. Now, I'm not saying don't do it and all. It's their personal choice. I agree with that. But writing in a notebook, that is something that cannot be replaced.
Hmm.
So
Okay. All right.
this
But okay, let me just ask a very basic question. Do you feel optimistic, or do you feel that there is not time for optimism for you?
I didn't get your question. Like,
Do you
can you,
feel optimistic or somewhat optimistic about your own future?
sir? I there's a lot of time for it, but I've already said that, like, I'll work in a law firm. I'll practice in court. I'll work mainly in litigation only.
Uh-huh.
And just enjoy your life. Don't take things seriously. Make the most of it, because 5 years are there for law school. It should not be just 5 years. There are many things you can learn, which law school also they don't teach many things, but they should though.
Like what?
Like, like basic etiquettes, life skills, personal financing, many skills though.
Okay. But you are learning on your own.
Now fortunately, this college is helping me a lot. They are giving me many opportunities, and I'm grabbing them, and I'm doing whatever it takes to show them that I'm the best lawyer you have ever met. I'll do whatever it takes to do
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
I will never give up.
So you sound very optimistic to me. Yeah. That look, you've set your standard high. Nani Palkiwala is once in a lifetime.
Nani Palkiola, he's the father of law in India.
Yes, he is. Yes.
No one can replace him.
No.
After Nani Palkiola, there are instances like
Yeah.
Harish Salve,
Yes.
Jesai Deepak,
Yeah.
but that aura cannot be met of
No.
Nani Palkiwala.
No, it can't be. I
No,
agree. I agree with that. No, I agree. I was young at that time, but his name was famous even then.
yes.
Okay, all right. Anything else you want to add here?
Anything else? Make reading an important part of your life. There are many legal books like Legal Eagles, which talks about some of the famous lawyers of India, Harish Salve,
Yeah,
Abhishek Manu Singhvi,
yeah,
Mukul Rohtagi,
yeah,
Arvind Dattar,
yeah,
Justice Rohinton Nariman. I
yeah,
mean, his father was the legendary Falias
yeah,
Nariman as well.
yeah,
I've read Falias Nariman's book as well, Before
yeah.
Memory Fades.
Hmm.
Then you have books like Justice Krishna Iyer's book. I mean,
Yeah,
when he used to write judgments, there
yeah,
was some kind of charisma in those judgments as
yeah.
well.
Okay.
Dynamic Lawyering, that
Hmm.
is a very good book of Justice Krishna Iyer.
Hmm.
Then Roses in December by MC Chagla.
Yeah.
So these are all these very interesting books that I can
Hmm.
find that are very interesting.
Hmm.
And then obviously there are two books as well. One is that of Ramjet Malani,
Yeah.
the most famous criminal lawyer,
Yes.
and 10 judgments that changed India.
Yeah.
So these are some books which I find very interesting and
Hmm.
insightful.
Hmm.
You can learn a lot from them.
Hmm.
And even in Falias Nariman's book,
Hmm.
he has written one chapter
Hmm.
dedicated to law students.
Yeah.
Advice, what to do, what not to do.
Hmm.
So there were, I mean, at least what, 28 of them?
Hmm.
28 golden rules of advocacy by
Yeah.
Falias Nariman.
Hmm. Okay. Since you said you have read 10 cases, let me ask you, maybe you have an answer, maybe you don't, doesn't matter. But one of the famous cases is ADM Jabalpur versus Shukla. What do you think of that?
ADM Jabalpur, kind of controversial case, but this happened during the emergency as well, and this mostly related to the suspension of Article 21 and 226. Article 21 is right to life, like your life cannot be deprived of, no matter in any circumstance, wherever you are within India.
Hmm.
Your right to life is an essential part of you.
Hmm.
Fundamental rights, as described by B.R. Ambedkar, heart and soul of the Constitution. This cannot be snatched.
Hmm.
And Article 226 is that if your right has been violated, then you can file a petition
Hmm.
within the High Court of any state. Now,
Yes.
let's say if my right has been violated, I will file a writ petition under Article 226 within the Bombay High Court.
Yes.
Now, for Supreme Court, it is Article 32 only, and then the various writs are there like habeas corpus, mandamus, quo warranto, etc.
Hmm.
Sir, in ADM Jabalpur, I mean, this was overturned actually by Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, the current
Yes.
CJI, because his father then he ruled that fundamental rights can be suspended, but
Yes.
then now it was overturned saying that fundamental rights are an essential part of
Yes.
every Indian and they cannot be suspended.
Yes.
They are with you.
Yes.
Yes. So this was it about ADM Jabalpur.
Okay. Well, let me say that I find you most knowledgeable.
Thank you, sir.
This is,
Sir, this is all due to the love and support of my parents, my family, my friends, my professors, even God Himself.
because I mean, if you were not in law college, what I asked you, people have zero knowledge of what I asked you. Okay. They have no knowledge at all. But you are only in second year and you know all these cases and rules and people and all. So I find you honestly, I'm trying your case now and I'm declaring you guilty of being knowledgeable. Guilty of being knowledgeable, highly knowledgeable. It's very impressive. I'm sure you will do well because you have the ability to read what might to others think like, oh my God, what is all this? It's all some history and all, forget it. What is the case today? But you can't know what is the case today till you know what was the case in the past.
Exactly.
Because you have to know it, okay? So I'm really happy to talk to you and to just ask you a few questions of law, and the answers are very precise. I don't think I've heard anybody talk of Article 32. It is like a surprise for me that, okay, we're talking. I mean, I'm not
I
a lawyer.
mean, they
I'm
are
not.
essential, yeah, but they are important though. I mean,
Yeah. Okay. All right. Good. Anything else you want to add here?
anything else like social media? Get rid of it. I use social media still, but now I'm trying to get rid of it by not using it. I just keep it open. I don't even look at it. Don't use social media because it completely distracts you. It
Hmm.
destroys you. I mean, you know the dangers of social media. Look, that online harassment, cyberbullying happens a lot in
Yeah.
social media.
Okay.
So social media is to be avoided.
Hmm.
One thing I also observed is that as a lawyer, no matter who your client is, be it a victim of a crime or even the criminal himself,
Hmm.
just do your duty. I mean, the recent case that happened, I don't want to go into the details of it. The person who represented the government of West Bengal, he was met with heavy criticism.
Yes.
He was doing his duty. I mean, so that should not happen now. And
Yes.
the job of a lawyer is to defend his client to the best of his abilities, no
Yes.
matter who your client is.
Yes.
Do your job sincerely, do it well.
Yes.
Ignore negativity. I mean, this is what many famous criminal lawyers, be it Ramjet Malani, be it Satish Maneshande as well,
Yeah.
they have also said this many times.
The-
Ignore negativity, do your job, give justice to your client. That's it.
Yeah. Okay. I get it. I agree with you also that everybody needs a good lawyer.
Hmm.
No matter what is your crime, you need a good lawyer. And
Yes.
the question is not whether you are guilty, but you are guilty of what,
Hmm.
right? Guilty of what, and then what exactly is the punishment or fine for it. So these are all issues to be discussed.
Yes.
This whole idea of guilty or not guilty is too, uh, what should I say,
Hmm.
immature. You have
Ah.
to know guilty of what. And even if it is guilty, what are your rights? Because as you said, the rights are there from the Constitution. Constitution doesn't say that, look, you don't.
Without constitution, nobody can practice law.
Yes, nobody can.
That's a main thing which my professor has said.
Yeah, yeah, you cannot practice law without knowing the Constitution. I agree with you. Okay, shall we end it here today?
So, like, I'll just talk about two things. Like,
Sure.
opinion of current Indian judicial system is that, from a longer perspective, uh, it is making some good progress. They have introduced lok adalats. Lok
Yeah.
adalat means that, I mean, in India, we have a very huge backlog of pending cases. So to solve that, lok adalats have been introduced to overcome those backlogs through outside court settlements as well. The second thing is that the in the rise of technology, it is important though, because law and technology, they go hand in hand. It's
Mm.
not like any profession where technology replaces the person who's working and all. No, no, no. So e-paperwork, online virtual hearing of cases, so that is something which is rising, and by the time 2028, all of this is going to be e-papers. It's not that key, you know, like hardbound paper and all. So it's more like, e-papers, e-filing of cases, e-virtual hearings as well. That is the integration of technology. But I mean, long term as well, it is doing well. I mean, one piece of advice for people who are pursuing law is that welcome to the law industry, and just study well, do well, don't take things seriously, have fun, but study well as well, and be in the good company of friends. And even if you don't have friends, that's fine. That's don't like, I mean, don't feel bad about it. I mean, you can be cool by yourself. I mean, I've never had any friends growing up. That made me sad a bit. No one used to hang out with me. This made me feel disappointed, but as I grew up and I realized that you can be cool all by yourself. I mean, if not your friends, then you can hang out by yourself.
Okay.
And then obviously, like, I welcome you all to law and welcome to the legal industry and wish you all the very best.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Anirudh. That was very, very impressive. Let me put it this way. I'm very happy that they teach all these things already to second year students, that they understand these and all. It took me a long time to get these points, but then I'm not a lawyer. And I'm happy to say, well done. Okay, good
Thank you,
job.
sir.
All right, good. You're going to be a good lawyer. This I know. On whose side, this I don't know. Whether you are going to be on the defendant side or on the prosecution side, this I don't know. But I think you will do well, whichever side you are on. All right, good. Let's end it here today. I'll be back with another young person or an expert soon. Bye till then. Bye, everybody.